What's happening? Anyway, look, here is the damage here. Check this out. Look, I got blood on my joint. Look, got all the blood in there. Look, blood on my shirt. See, there's more blood on my coat. You know I got blood on the coat. Let's see. Look, right here on my sleeve. Look at it. See, oh! Drops right on my boot. It's my blood, though. Let's see. See how much blood I can find. I got blood on my phone screen. So I was out there. I was talking about the spirits, the poltergeist, Indian burial grounds. Talking about electronic failure during these events. Look, here's my grass. Let me get this light. Here's my grass, right? Let me see. There's like blood everywhere. Look, blood. Let's see. It's all my blood too. It's kind of scary, right? Look, blood. No blood on that one. Blood. Look, does that not that blood spot look like the Loch Ness motherfucking monster? Pareidolia. Let's see if there's any on the trunk. Yeah, that was fucking lame, alright? So I'm sitting there, I'm making a video about cryptids being connected to poltergeists, haunted sites, like sacred sites, like Indian burial sites. Right? And then on my second video, all of a sudden I get cut. And I'm like bleeding bad, like from a grass cut. Then I get to the motherfucking car. And the door would not unlock. That bitch was like dead. Maybe it just got too cold. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was cold as fuck out there. I guess it only takes 30 minutes in this weather right here to get frostbite. And I noticed my skin was looking kind of bluish. You know what I'm saying? And I know one of my fucking fingers, that bitch was fucking, like, feeling it. So I get to the fucking car. And then I'm sitting there hitting unlock on the key fob. And, you know, it might have just been because that shit was cold, right? And so I just had to hold it in my hand for a minute to get that bitch to warm up before this bitch would unlock. It was weird, though, but look, no response. Fucking, there was a dude come walking up with his dog. Kind of when he got there, all of a sudden, the fucking thing finally worked. And then unlocked, man. And I was afraid maybe, like, the battery somehow was still on. That bitch was going to be dead on me. And I'm sitting there bleeding like a motherfucker, like bad. Like I just leaked all over the place. Like, look, blood on that stick right there. Look at that. Look, blood on that motherfucking, on that blade of grass. There's a trail of blood going out of the woods. So, that's weird. You know, I'm talking about the fucking poltergeists and shit. And how they do energy drains. And then I get to my motherfucking car. And the bitch wouldn't unlock. But at least it started. But, I mean, I just find that could be coincidence. Or that could be like, what? I manifested that shit, some people will say. They'll be like, oh, if you have any negative thoughts, then you deserve whatever happens. Like that sort of thing. But I was talking about these fucking things being trickster spirits, man. Like, the aliens, the greys, the fairies, the squatches, the orbs, the UFOs, how that shit might all be the same interdimensional trickster, shape-shifting ass things, you know? Damn, this part's hard. This part's hard, man. Look at that. And, ooh, not the grass. That's enough grass right there. You can make a grass fucking canoe out of that bitch. Anyway, look, I got this thing right here, look. Archery target. Right? So I got some more of that to throw up on there. And I got these grass mats too, right? And that sucks, man. I cut my motherfucking finger. I could have got a lot more than that. But everything happens for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, so, I gotta focus on the positives, not the negatives. But yeah, so I got some new archery gear. Got me some fucking I got me a pellet gun. Freaking, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna go get some squirrels and some rabbits. I think I want to try to make rabbit stew. I know it's kind of morbid, but you know, I need a hobby. Look, the more fucking positive, constructive hobbies a motherfucker got, the more likely success. More likely for success. You got overlap and all these different things. Just kind of like the poltergeists, the squatches, or the cryptids and shit. Because, you know, I've seen footage of dogmen, and it almost seems like Bigfoot that almost got there's moments where they actually like look like shadow people, or they look like mist, dude. They look like and I've also seen poltergeists on, you know, reports of people that see poltergeists and they show up as a mist. And in Islamic tradition, they call these things the jinn. There's a whole different class of being, not just angels and demons and shit. There's another kind of fucking entity. It's called a jinn. And these fuckers are like made out of smoke and shit, right? You got the Native Americans. We got the tradition of these things called Manadoo. But we also we had a term for spirit, ghost, and something else, right? And actually little people, fairies, or gnomes, that sort of thing. Like, is a Bigfoot actually in the gnome the same thing? And then fuckers can just kind of like, they can blow up or shrink, you know what I'm saying? Or are they kind of non-corporeal, so whoever's looking at them is going to see something different? You're looking at the same thing, but it's going to be like a psychic projection, right? So we could be seeing the same fucking entity, but it'll appear to us as something different to the you know what I'm saying? Something like to that effect. So fucking, just, you know, I'm just kind of like having a little vomit on the whole subject there, that spooky, that hoodoo, voodoo, and taboo type shit, and that spooky shit. Because there is an element of hoodoo, voodoo, taboo to that shit, where it's spooky action at a distance, right? Because if you, like I was saying in the first video, they make cities on top of fucking burial mounds. And they did this shit in Europe too. They make them on top of fairy mounds. They have fairy mounds in Europe. Around here they have Native American burial mounds, right? But it's the same fucking shit. And a lot of these sightings allegedly show up there. And actually you have seen, there's footage of a dog man in a motherfucking, in a graveyard. And he's digging up, come on bitch. He's digging up a grave, right? So what is that? That's consecrated ground. That's another burial motherfucking mound, right? The goat man and other cryptids seen around graveyards often. On the reservation up north in Brimley, there's a fucking place called Mission Hill, and it's an old graveyard, old Catholic graveyard. And there's like a nun that walks through there that's a ghost, and she's got like flowers in her hair and shit, but she ain't got no legs. Chases people out of there. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, so, I mean, look, the signs right now to me are saying that, look, I'm on the right path, because, there's something to all this, cryptid, poltergeist type shizzle, okay? Fucking, there's connections, man, across the board. Fucking, it's like, listen, like, for instance, skinwalkers, okay? My tribe, it says in the history of the Ojibwe people by William Warren that we learned the skinwalker ritual from the French, right? And the French already had the werewolf over there in France. And look, everywhere that the French went, you got down south of Louisiana. Look, they believe in the Rougarou, right? Fucking the werewolf, right? There's the Michigan Dogman. The French fur traders were here, right? Back in the day, like pre-American shit. So look, Detroit, Ditois. Yeah, that's a fucking French fucking word. A French word. And, even in some of my tribe actually is related, or they married into the French people, kind of. So it's interesting. Interesting shizzle that, we got the skinwalker. And look, you put on the dude that was the werewolf killer in France said he put on a magical salve, put on a fucking, a wolf skin, a magical wolf skin, made a pact with the devil, right? That's exactly basically what our skinwalker ritual is like, okay? Like, it's not just the Navajo in the Southwest. Look, there is a document or a fucking audiobook on YouTube. It's called The Medicine Man. And it's a comparison to all traditions from Africa, India, to the Native American, even to the Jewish mysticism. Fucking like, look. And it said the belief in lycanthropy is pretty much a culturally wide phenomenon, especially in Native Americans. All right, so that's just like Wendigo. Okay, the Wendigo isn't a creature; it's a spirit that possesses men and women. Okay. And I'd imagine, look, some of these spirits could even possess animals to give them bloodlust, okay? And it says this spirit can morph and metamorphosize a human over time and make them look ugly, and they become fucking zombie-ish, magical zombie, okay? Once again, it's probably a trickster, a shapeshifter, so if we all look at it, we might not see the same thing because these things aren't totally corporeal all the time, or they're half in, half out. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of niggas from India that could create a doorway, a portal, hop in it, and then show up in another spot. Like so they said, or they can pull a rope. A rope will come out of nowhere. They climb up it, and boom, they go through a portal and hop it to a different spot. I'm kind of all over the place, but you can sift through this what you will, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting out a lot of historically sound shizzle, dude. It's just tidbits. You know what I'm saying? Like it said that, shamanism, the dark shamanism is skinwalkery. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, you got the African Leopard Society. Said the original Taoists used to dress in bear skins. My tribe did the bear skin. Our skinwalkers took bear skins, okay? Fucking the South guys go more towards the coyote skins. But there is this is also the berserker fucking religion of the Vikings. But look, the Vikings migrated to France, right? So where did that belief in werewolves come from? It probably came from the Vikings who migrated to France. Or some of these people, when there was no more war, some of these berserker people fucking were going berserker and just, instead of fighting in battle, they were eating women and children and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, and that's part of the skinwalker ritual is actually to make you the pact with the devil. And it said it became under satanic medicine men that they learned from the French about Satanism. And it was a dark ritual where you had to kill a family member by poisoning. And there was medieval poisoners, right? That also probably came in with the French. Look, plant medicine, some of that shit is voodoo. Some of that shit is just old school chemistry, right? I don't know. It's just like guns don't kill people. People kill people. You could be a plant man. You're not necessarily a witch, you know what I'm saying? You could just be a healer, right? But it's the heart of what power you're using, right? Anyway, much love, God bless, man. I'm gonna keep on this as I'm inspired to do so, because sometimes I get downloads and inspirational shit, and I just kind of gotta spontaneously, when I know it's there and I'm feeling it, just go in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having a good time, like getting. This is my therapy, too. Like, just I was out there hiking. That's my therapy, man. Fucking talking, getting shit off my chest, chopping it up, fucking just throwing it out there for people to voyeur and, get a little get inspired from, you know what I'm saying? And informed.